2-minute break. Well, it doesn't get much better than this for a season-ending game, a regular season-ending game. It's Utah State, it's Boise State, and so much on the line for the Aggies tonight. Win, and you're the 3 seed in the Mountain West Conference Tournament beginning next Thursday. Lose, and you're the 4 seed and might get San Diego State in the semifinals. But, hey, all in all, you just want to be playing your best basketball down the stretch, and Utah State certainly has done that. They've won 4 games in a row after a dominating, convincing victory against UNLV, who, by the way, just turned around and went to Nevada and shocked the Wolfpack in overtime today, which was one of the reasons why Utah State will be the 3 seed if they win tonight. This Aggie team is playing their best basketball of the season right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You go back to the last home loss, obviously it was San Diego State. They were right in that game, came down to the wire. Even in that game, they played well, especially starting in that second half. First half was abysmal. But since that point, the Aggies have been playing at a very high level. Did it at UNLV. They've had their letdowns at moments, but ultimately they've been able to keep this streak going. Boise State in the house. I'll tell you what, physical, probably the biggest challenge they've faced since San Diego State. Let's see what they can do.
San Diego State certainly in the NCAA tournament. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
I believe Boise State is in as well. I think their resume's enough that even if they lose tonight and may lose in the first game of the tournament, I still think Boise State is in. Nevada used to be kind of in that assumptive, they're going to be in, but they've lost a couple games down the stretch. And New Mexico certainly has had a bit of a meltdown. So Utah State now appears to be that 3rd team trying to work its way into the tournament. Leon Rice was asked earlier in the week if he felt Utah State was an NCAA tournament team. Well, Leon Rice certainly is going to say that for the sake of the conference, and he wants his team to know they're playing an NCAA caliber team here in Logan. But, I mean, things are setting up nicely. Utah State's got great computer numbers. Ken Palm and net numbers are through the roof coming into this game. Ranked 22nd in the net, 24th in Ken Palm. And you know, the big thing that they're going to say is, well, no Q1 wins. Well, you can pick up one of those tonight, and if that happens, I do believe the Mountain West deserves to get 3 teams in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. You win this game tonight, and I still think you need to win a game or 2 next week, but Utah State's resume continues to increase.
Yeah, you're right. I having experienced it myself, I always doubt. I always doubt when you go back to that 2003-2004 team. That's created, I'm just going to doubt it. But the reality is, in my mind, when you look at all of the statistics, the Mountain West Conference should get 4 teams in the NCAA tournament. I've said that for probably the last month and a half. Realistically, they're probably going to get 3.
Yeah.
The problem is, like you said, Nevada loses against UNLV. Utah State maybe doesn't win this game. I think you're right. San Diego State and Boise State are in for sure. It's a matter of what does the committee ultimately, how much respect do they have for Nevada and Utah State? Just from experience, I don't think they have much, so I think Utah State has to win this game tonight. to even be considered in that at-large conversation.
Don't disagree with that, and you would like for that not to be the case, but history says you're probably right on that one.
They should. I mean, honestly, you look at where the Mountain West is ranked among all of the conferences. They should have 4 teams in. You would take the 4th-ranked Mountain West team instead of the 9th Big Ten team. And I'm saying that facetiously, but I've seen it happen too many times where that doesn't happen. And so, yeah, the Mountain West, it would be a travesty if they only got 2 teams in the tournament. But it's possible if the right teams don't keep winning.
Yep. All right, you're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield. It's Utah State and Boise State. Aggie starting lineup: Sean Bairstow, Stephen Ashworth, Max Scholga, Taylor Funk, and Trevin Dorius. For Boise State, Tyson Dagenhart, 6'7", 242-pound sophomore from Spokane. Marcus Shaver, who's has a phenomenal career at Boise State, 6'2", 285-pound senior from Phoenix, Arizona. Chibuzo Abo gets the start, 6'7", 223-pound junior from San Diego, California, the transfer from Texas Tech. And Max Rice, who has just had a phenomenal run. They don't beat San Diego State the other night without the heroics of Max Rice. He's averaging 14 points a game, but in Mountain West Conference play, bump that out. He's averaging 16 points per game and shooting 46% from 3 in Mountain West Conference games. Also, Najee Smith gets the start as well, number 23 for the Broncos. But we're ready to get this thing started. Aggies in their all whites and blue trim. Boise State with their road blues and orange and white trim. It's, for the most part, a fairly packed house here in Logan, and we're ready to get this thing going. Coming to midcourt, Najee Smith and Trevin Dorius. It's the Aggies and the Broncos. Final game of the regular season, and the tip controlled by the Aggies. And here comes Sean Bairstow bringing the ball down the court, working right to left. Hands to Ashworth, gives it to Dorius. Dorius slips it back to Ashworth, comes around the screen, throwing the alley-oop, and one-handed dunk. Oh, Trevin Dorius throws it down with a one hand.
Great set play coming out. Steven very comfortable throwing up to Trev now.
Abo to Dagenhart, then to Shaver. Shaver cross court. Corner drive by Smith, cut off, loses the handle, able to keep the dribble alive, goes off the hands, out of bounds. They'll say off of Dorius. And with 13 seconds on the shot clock, Boise State will inbound as Marcus Shaver will trigger.
Interesting to see Trev guarding Najee Smith coming out.
Abo hands to Rice. Scholga puts a hand in his face, quickly gives it to Shaver. 7, 6, 5. Driving, floater, right hand up, off the glass, missed it. Rebound tipped around, controlled finally by Bairstow. And here comes the Aggies. Stephen Ashworth leaves it for Scholga, trying to drive baseline on Rice. Skip pass to Bairstow, who lays it up and in, and the Aggies out to an early 4-0 lead. Shaver crossing the timeline. 1 minute into the game, and Utah State leading 4-0. Rice thought about the three, steps back. Hands to Dagenhart, then to Abo. Abo, right wing. Cross-court pass back. Long three, straight away. Missed off the front of the iron. Offensive rebound, tipped and controlled by Rice. Able to collect it. Ashworth tried to keep it in play. But they're going to say we need to reset the shot clock. And they'll put 28. Did Utah State have possession? Interesting.
Maybe they're calling that tip up by Trev or Funk, whoever that was that got it, but didn't seem like it.
So 27 seconds now on the shot clock for Boise State, who had 9 offensive rebounds in the game in Boise. Gets their first one today. Shaver with Ashworth on his back pocket, slips it to Abo. Abo on the left wing, then back to Rice. Rice double team, kick it back to Abo. He'll take the long straightaway three and knock it down. Abo can knock it down. He's a 40% three-point shooter. He had 11 points against Utah State. Did go 0 for 3 against San Diego State from the three-point line, but got a big one there. 4-3, Utah State with a 1-point lead. Dorius back to Scholga. Scholga works right wing, trying to throw the alley-oop again, but Dorius can't collect. Finally, he's able to dish it back to Ashworth. Ashworth on the left wing. He'll rise, fire, three, no good, back iron. There's the offensive rebound, the putback up and in. Taylor Funk following the shot, getting the easy rebound and the bucket. 6-3, Utah State leads.
Great job on that in the sense with Boise State switching, that's a place they can attack. Shaver did not box out Funk with the mismatch, and he got an easy rebound.
Abo drives around Bairstow, stops, pops, shoots, or gives it on the left wing, back to Smith, and he buries the left wing three. So back-to-back threes has tied this game up at 6 apiece. Boise State shooting 37% from three in Mountain West Conference play. They can light it up in a hurry. Cross-court pass to Bairstow, driving into lane, stops. He throws up the floater and nestles it home. Gets the friendly roll on the rim, and Utah State out to an early 8-6 lead. Fun start to this game, folks.
As I pointed out, with Trev guarding Najee Smith, Najee can shoot it. It's a tough matchup.
Hand off to Rice. Rice pump fakes the three, then gives back to Smith. Smith, who just hit a big three, he drives on Dorius, tries to go up and over him, but can't get the shot to go. He's still down on the court. Aggies 5-on-4 right now. Lead it to Dorius, but Dorius lost the handle on the pass, and it's intercepted, and here comes Abo. Leaves it for Dagenhart. Dagenhart drives against Shulga, lays it up and in. Will they give him the bucket?
Yeah, that's
I believe so,
one.
yes. Dagenhart, big, strong drive into the lane. Shulga tried to slow him down with the foul, and he busted right through it and lays it up and gets the end one. And an opportunity to give Boise State their first lead of the game.
Yeah, both teams have a really good rhythm on offense. Not playing a lot of defense right now. And Boise being able to get into the lane. Najee Smith wasn't able to finish, but Dagenhart as well, getting in the lane and making it difficult.
Dan Akin, an early substitution. He will come in for Trevin Dorius. Also, Lucas Milner, number 25, had 4 points in the game in Boise against Utah State. Here comes Dagenhart with the free throw attempt, trying to give the Broncos their first lead, and he knocks it down. 9-8, Broncos lead by 1, 3.5 minutes into this game. Shulga leaves it to Bairstow. Bairstow back to Shulga, crosses the timeline, hands to Ashworth. Ashworth looking for a screen from Akin, goes baseline, steps back, leaves it back to Shulga. Shulga left wing, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Drives against Dagenhart, spins, shows, puts the shot up, no good. Offensive rebound, Taylor Funk, and he lays it up and in. Taylor Funk, 4 points, both on offensive rebound putbacks, being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we talked about the rebounding battle being one of the keys, and Utah State doing well so far on that front.
Aggies lead 10-9, 1 point lead for Utah State. Dagenhart just had 3 points on the last possession. Rice now with the ball straight away, pump fake three, leaves it back to Dagenhart. He'll take the three, miss it, and the rebound falls into the hands of Max Shulga. Gives it to Bairstow. Up top to Ashworth. Ashworth then to Shulga, right wing. Taylor Funk, who's got 4 points, driving baseline, slips it to Akin, who lays it up and in. Beautiful assist. Taylor Funk, who's known for shooting threes, but he's got buckets at the rim and now an assist at the rim as well. Max Rice, guarded by Shulga, gets around him, driving, puts it up, no good. Shulga with the rebound. Rice wanted the foul. Shulga quickly in transition, leaves it over to Funk. Funk's got a three, it's up, it's good! And Taylor Funk filling it early. Aggies up by 6, 15-9. Aggies on a 7-0 run. Leon Rice tells his crew, play through it. Shaver, cross court to Dagenhart. Leads back to Abo. Abo, cross court, leaves it for Rice on the right wing. He steps back, works it right. Beautiful pass, beautiful shot. Nope, missed. Looked like that was going to go, but here comes Taylor Funk going the other way. Great ball movement from Boise State. Ashworth steps back, then drives on Dagenhart. Spin, leave it for Akin. Akin can't finish at the rim with a dunk, but does get called, or does draw the foul. And that brings us to our first media timeout. Aggies out to an early 15-9 lead over Boise State. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield. Leads by 6, 15-9 right out of the gate. Utah State Athletics and America First Credit Union featuring the academic success of USU student athletes. This week from the women's track and field team, Mika Rivera is your America First Credit Union student athlete of the week. So the Aggies on a 7-0 run, shooting 78% from the field. 1 of 2 from 3. Boise State 2 of 5. Aggies getting good contribution from Taylor Funk, who had been in a funk. You look at the last stretch from Taylor, and it had not been pretty. He has been 4 of 27 from 3 the last 5 games. If you wanted to go the last 4 games, he's 2 of 23. but he's got a big one here tonight.
You know, a great thing to tell young players is get in the game by making layups first. Taylor gets 2 layups, 2 offensive rebounds for layups, sees the ball goes in, gets into the flow, and then he gets open for a 3 and knocks it down. Great start by Taylor. Great start by the Aggies. You look at the keys to the game, rebounding battle. Aggies are up 7-1. Max Rice hasn't scored, and we've got 1 3 so far. I'm going to be tracking these keys because I really think if they do those 3 things, they're going to win this basketball game.
Dan Akin with 2 free throws coming up after the foul. Here comes Dan's first free throw. That is up, and that is good. Dan Akin with 1 more, with 14:35 left to go here in the first half. Jace Whiting comes into the game. I might say Trent Whiting several times in this game tonight. Both free throws are up and good. Trent Whiting, his dad, who played at Utah and BYU, but Jace Whiting, how about this? All-time leading scorer at Burley High School history.
Burley High School, that's your neck of the woods.
That is my neck of the woods. Degenhardt drives, cut off, leaves it for Rice. Rice then back to Abo. Abo spins in the lane. Pull-back jumper, up and good. Beautiful shot from the Texas Tech transfer.
Jace Whiting playing on that AAU team with Mason Falslove and Dallin Hall. Talk about a guard lineup. Yeah. All 3 of those kids.
Ashworth leaves it for Funk. Funk on the right wing. Aggies lead this game 17-11. Another 3 is up. No good, and the rebound pulled down by Max Rice. Taylor Funk couldn't get that one to go. Rice steps back, looking for Whiting. Instead, Milner comes up to collect, and then he will hand off to Whiting. Whiting, right wing, 3-point line extended, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it to Milner. He gives it back to Whiting, and he tries to dish it back to Milner, but it's stolen away by Stephen Ashworth.
Great job, Stephen.
Dan Akin leaving it for Bairstow. Back to Ashworth. Good look for 3. Yes, sir! Stephen Ashworth buries the 3. Aggies up 9, 20-11.
Rewarding, I like that especially. Stephen makes the defensive play. Sean rewards him by dropping it off for the open 3.
Aggies on a 12-2 run. Milner back up top to Rice. Looking for Abo. Abo takes the contested 3. No good, but they will get Bairstow with the foul, and that'll send Abo to the line for 3 free throws, where he's an 82% free throw shooter.
You know, Sean did such a great job defensively up until the final moment, and then just made too much contact. Just stand. You don't need to jump. Just stand and contest. He was there.
Crowd doesn't like it. Legitimate call, though. That's the right call to make.
Yeah.
Abo with 3 free throws. Again, good free throw shooter at 82%, but he misses off the back end.
He's taking offense to good. First of all, great jinx on your part, but then also Abo doesn't like being called a flopper.
Abo with the second free throw and knocks that down. 1 more coming up. By the way, R.J. Idlerock into the game for Utah State. Your Aggies, Akin, Idlerock, Funk, Ashworth, and Bairstow. Utah State with 2 team fouls. Boise with 1. Second free throw is good. So 2 for 3 for the line for Abo, and Utah State's lead is 7, 20-13. A little token press here by Boise State, trying to slow Utah State down a bit. Bairstow bounce pass to Funk, who's 1 of 2 from 3 tonight. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Aggies slow getting into their offense. Finally to Ashworth on the right wing, leaves it back for Bairstow with 10. Ashworth has the ball nearly poked away. Rice comes in, creates contact. Ashworth hoists up a 3. Obviously, the officials won't give it to him, but it does draw the foul on Rice, and the Aggies will get 20 back on the shot clock in an offensive set where they didn't look great.
Yeah, the token press, as you talked about, took a lot of time off the clock. That's a moot point now.
Bairstow driving baseline. Still working the dribble against Abo. Gets into the paint, puts it off the glass, misses it, and it falls into the lap of Degenhardt with an easy rebound. Shaver working left to right, picked up by Ashworth. Ashworth comes over the screen, bounce pass down low, but they're going to call a foul on Funk, not allowing Najee Smith to get position. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Utah State, who leads this game 20-13 with 12:27 left to go here in the first half.
Taylor had good position. He just got handsy with him.
Shaver looking to inbound on the baseline, slips it to Abo, takes the shot and knocks it down. Will they give him 3? Yes. So 5 consecutive points for Abo. He had 11 points against Utah State in the game in Boise. Funk driving, leaving it for Bairstow. Wide open baseline three, leaves it way short, airballs it, and falls into the lap of Degenhart, leaves it for Rice. 20-16, Utah State led by 9, now they lead by 4, and Boise State looks to chip into it more. They do not, though, as Abo's shot on a long two goes off the iron, and Utah State collects the rebound. Ashworth, he gets to the elbow, leaves it back for Funk. Cross-court pass to Idle-Rock. Idle-Rock on the baseline drive, steps back. Bounce pass down to Akin. Akin puts it off the glass, gets it to go. Good positioning, and is able to lay it up and in.
It's taking advantage of those switches. Once again, Funk taking advantage on the offensive glass. Dan on the roll. Max Rice not going to be able to match up with Dan down in the post.
Smith to Shaver. Shaver left wing. He'll take the long two and miss it. Utah State's fine, giving up those long twos, especially contested. Cross court to Akin. Akin then to Bairstow. Hand to Idle-Rock. Idle-Rock wants to drive and then retreats back behind the three-point line. Sees Degenhart, wants no part of that. Back to Idle-Rock. Idle-Rock lost the handle on the way up. Aggies want a foul. They won't get it. Shaver in transition. Shaver trying to work around Ashworth. Under the rim. Leaves it up top. Degenhart wide open for three. No good. Tipped up, controlled by Bairstow. Aggies may have gotten away with one there, as Degenhart's going to hit that more often than not.
Yep.
22-16, 6-point lead for Utah State as we reach the 10:40 mark here in the first half. Idle-Rock cranks the baseline three, no good. And the rebound, fought for, controlled by Shaver. Shaver leads it to Rice. Rice puts it up and knocks it down, gets it over the top of Funk.
He will be so phenomenal in church ball for the next 20 years. His game is so perfect for church ball. That shot was the epitome of it.
Ashworth to Akin, leaves it back for Ashworth. He lays it up and in, but no, it's blocked. Thought we'd get a goaltend. Instead, Shaver's going the other way. Leaves it for Rice. Rice, long three, straight away. No good. Degenhart's able to pull down the offensive rebound. Cross-court pass back to Rice. Rice thought about the three. Funk puts a hand in his face, so he gives it back to Abo, then kicks it up top to Shaver. 10 on the shot clock. Shaver right wing. Trying to post up Degenhart. Instead, driving is Smith, and that's got to be what? Offensive foul. 22-18. Utah State at one point led by 9, leads by 4. That brings us to our under 12 timeout. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield.
Not yet.
22-18. Utah State leads by 4 with 9:45 left here in the first half. It's been a back and forth battle, to say the least, between these two teams, but Utah State currently leads by 4. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you can save. Geico.com, easy. All right, so here's the thing. Utah State has played really well to start this game, 56%, holding Boise to 38%, but the Broncos are just so tough and so disciplined. They don't get rattled. It's really hard to go on big runs against them, and they'll just keep hanging in there and hanging in there, even though Utah State's playing really, for the most part, pretty good basketball to start this game.
Yeah, and it's been a game of runs, like you said. Utah State running, and then Boise State calm, collected, and just kind of easing back into it. Utah State up 20-11, and now it's 22-18. It's going to be this kind of a game. One team punches, the other team's going to punch back. Neither team, I think, is going to be rattled. You saw how many seniors Utah State has.
Yeah.
That's what Boise has as well. So I think I'd be very surprised if this game got out of hand in either direction and just stayed tight the entire night.
Chase Whiting back into the game, harassing Ashworth as he brings the ball down the court. He gives it to Shulga. Shulga slips it to Funk. Najee Smith comes out to try to harass him as well. And they'll call a foul on Shaver coming over the top, trying to poke it away from Max Shulga. So that'll be the, I believe, third team foul on Boise. Ashworth slips it to Shulga, 20 on the shot clock. Shulga back to Akin, leaves it back to Shulga. Shulga fights through a defender, gets stuck in traffic, hands to Funk. Funk will drive, lays it up, and won't go, falls down. And no foul call, and here comes Boise State with Whiting quickly in transition. Works it right, slips it to Milner. Milner lost the handle, ball's on the court. slips it back to Smith. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll be off of Utah State. Good job by the Aggies, slowing down a fast break opportunity for Boise State. Whiting will inbound, 22 on the shot clock, 9:10 left here in the first half. Aggies nursing a 4-point lead. Whiting, waiting, finally to Shaver on the right baseline. Shaver, right wing, 3-point line extended, cross-court pass to Whiting. Looking left to Smith. Smith then back to Shaver, 10 on the shot clock. Shaver against Ashworth. Drives past him, puts the floater up with the right hand. Wouldn't go, tipped out though, and an offensive rebound by Boise State. As we mentioned, they had 9 in Boise. Another contested long 2. That is missed, and the rebound fought for, and that'll be what? Alternating possession. Akin and Milner both grabbed it at the same time. That'll give the possession back to Boise State on alternating possessions.
That rebounding battle, it's tightened up now. Utah State came out really strong there, and Boise State's come back, narrowed that margin. It's plays like that are going to make the difference in this game.
Keep an eye on Z Hamoda. This is a big game, big moment. Z's got to play well. He checks in for Idle Rock. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Boise State's been able to keep this possession alive. Degenhart blocked at the rim. Slips it back to Whiting, collected by Boise State. Beautiful block shot, but Kobe Young into the game with the ball on the left wing, trying to drive on Hamoda. Puts a shoulder into him. Spin, takes the long shot, missed it by a mile, falls in the lap of Funk. And here comes Utah State. Taylor Funk, he'll rise for 3. Yes! Taylor Funk hits the 3. Aggies up 7, 25-18. Boise State with a couple of offensive rebounds, but couldn't turn them into points. Shaver leaves it for Degenhart, looking for Whiting. He'll come and collect. Kick it back to Milner outside the 3-point line. Aggies up by 7, 7:54 left in the half. Shaver, cross-court pass back to Young. Young leaves it for Milner on the baseline against Taylor Funk. Milner with 6, Milner with 5. Spins, puts it up, and gets the layup over the top of Taylor Funk. Use that size and length to his advantage.
Yeah, that's going to be a mismatch if Funk gets switched on to Milner down there. Both he or Degenhart look for Boise State to start attacking that in the post.
Ashworth slips it to Akin, 25-20. Aggies lead by 5. Shulga back to Ashworth. Ashworth retreats, guarded by Young. Boise State switches. Milner comes out on Ashworth. He slips it to Funk. Funk with the right-hand scoop hook shot and pushes it up and in. Funk has just been fantastic tonight. He's got 12 points on the night tonight. Abbo, by the way, in double figures for Boise State with 10. Whiting left wing, guarded by Shulga. What a game tonight, 27-20. Young now outside the 3-point line. He leaves it for Milner, and it's tipped up and stolen away by Utah State. Akin with the tip. Ashworth, 3 in transition. No good. No foul. Oh, did they call the foul? Yes. Did not hear the whistle. Stephen Ashworth will go to the line for some free throws.
Look for Kobe Young to sit down, turnover, and then fouling a 3-point shooter.
6:47 left to go in the half. Aggies up by 7, 27-20, with Stephen Ashworth free throws set to come up on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome on back. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield. Utah State leads 27-20. Aggies have led by as many as 9 and now lead by 7. Back and forth game. Boise State is not going to go away, folks. They are just too good, too disciplined, too tough. But we got ourselves a great battle in front of a great crowd tonight. Aggie Scoring Summary brought to you by your Utah pork producers, providing safe and wholesome pork products to Utah families for over 25 years. Visit utahporkproducers.org. Spencer, give me a kind of a feel of what you've seen so far in this one.
Both teams playing with a lot of tempo on offense. Pushing the limits of kind of out of control a couple times to where it looked a little bit chaotic. But for the most part, 10 minutes, great offensively, and then some sputtering there. But Utah State punching, as we said early, Boise punching back, and now Utah State in the middle of a run. I think, Steven got fouled on the 3. Can we count this as a 3-pointer? If he makes it, can it count towards the 9 3-pointers I said they need to make?
Sure.
Okay, appreciate it.
You
Thank
make the rules, man. You do whatever you want.
I like that.
It's all good. So Stephen Ashworth has a chance to give the Aggies a double-digit lead here. First free throw is good. 2 more coming up for Stephen Ashworth.
I always like to watch Leon working the refs. That's one of his main kind of focuses during the game, is to be working the refs the entire game.
Yep. Frankly, nobody does it better, and that's not even a knock.
No, he's just good at his job.
Good.
That's part of being a head coach. He's very good at that.
He said in his story the other day, Ashworth's third free throw, good. He goes 3 for 3. He says, I tell my players not to talk to the refs because they're not as good at it as I am. Yeah. So don't waste your time. I'll handle it.
That's awesome.
Shaver to Degenhart. Degenhart left wing, guarded by Bairstow. Tries to spin. Aggies bring the double team pass to the post, stolen away by Ashworth. Leaves it for Shulga. Shulga in transition, reverse layup, yes! And the foul! Oh, Max Shulga, high fives to the student section. Aggies rolling, leading by 12.
Defense leading to offense. Degenhart had Bairstow in the post, and you know his eyes got really big. And then all of a sudden, Trev comes from the high side. We used to call that monster high side, and Steven picks off the pass.
Max Shulga with the free throw. It is up and good. And Utah State with their largest lead of 13 against Boise State. 6.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Here comes Abbo, who's got double digits with 10. Leaves it for Degenhart to Shaver on the left wing. Aggie switch, and he's up against Bairstow. Slips it down low to Smith. Smith has to kick it out to Rice. Hamoda is on him. He leaves it for Shaver. Then back to Abbo. Back to Shaver. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Shaver's got to go to work. And his pass tipped away, but they're going to call a foul on the drive against Utah State. That'll be the 14th foul on the Aggies.
Great team defense. Honestly, they were scrambling, but they caught up to it, and then Shaver makes a good drive at the end.
Ashworth gets hit with a foul. That's his first. Left wing three from the baseline. Good. Abbo is feeling it tonight for Boise State. He's got 13, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, and he snaps Utah State's run. It's a 10-point game, 33-23. Did not have Abbo on my bingo sheet as having the big game, but he has been important. Bairstow lays it up and in on the drive. Sean Bairstow driving down the lane and gets the bucket. Aggies up 35-23.
Yeah, Abbo's really keeping him in it right now, who hasn't been offensively that kind of guy for the Broncos.
Tremendous player, and he's been having to carry a heavy load. He'll take the three. Heat check. Missed. And the rebound pulled down by Bairstow. Tried to sell the foul. Didn't get it. Ashworth in transition. Gets around Shaver. Gets double teamed. Has to kick it back up top to Bairstow. Leaves it to Hamoda. Hamoda on the left wing. Cross-court pass back to Bairstow. Look to drive on Degenhart. On senior night, lays it up and in. Sean Bairstow gets the bucket. Aggies up 14, 37-23. Leon has had enough. Coach Rice says timeout. 5:05 left in the half. We will take a 30-second coach's timeout on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State wins this game. They will be the 3 seed. Boise State will be the 2. Nevada, who lost to UNLV, will drop all the way down to 4. Najee Smith to Abbo. Thought about the shot, instead kicks it to Rice. Rice steps back, pump fakes, takes the shot, miss it. Rebound pulled down by Shulga. Max Rice, who could not miss against the Aggies in Boise, has had struggles, but I don't think that's going to plan on lasting for long. He's got 2 points, 1 of 5, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. He'll get it cooking eventually. He's just too good. Hamoda leaves back to Ashworth. Ashworth on the right wing. Back to Dorius. Dorius leaves it for Ashworth. Guarded by Shaver. Dorius sets the screen. Ashworth nearly had it poked away. Drives baseline on Shaver. In trouble. Leaves it to Hamoda. He'll rise. Fire for 3. It's short. Rebound pulled down by Degenhart. This place would have erupted had he knocked that one down. Pass down low to Smith. Smith has to kick it to Rice on the baseline. Rice into the lane against Shulga. Spins. Fouled on the way up. And are they going to give him the shot or on the court? Hamoda with the foul, and it looks like Rice will be shooting free throws. Yes, and that's probably the right call.
Yeah, you got to call that. Obviously, we're focused on this game, but I do have to say, Scotty, 4 minutes and 17 seconds left, and Sam Merrill checks into the Cleveland Cavaliers-Detroit Pistons game, just because some Aggie fans do care.
Rice makes the first free throw. One more coming up. Into the game comes Dorius. Atkin comes in for Dorius. Rice makes the free throw, both free throws. He's got 3 points on the night tonight. 4 points. Shulga double team, slings it all the way to Funk, wide open, pump fakes, 3 up, missed it. Oh.
Had a lot on that one.
Yeah.
Incredible pass by Max Shulga.
Shaver has the ball stolen away, bad pass. Ashworth falls down, Shulga's able to help him up, and Utah State forces another turnover. That's the 6th turnover of the half for Boise State. Utah State with only 2. Shulga driving, gets into the post, leaves it back up to Ashworth. He'll take the 3. Yes! Stephen Ashworth buries the 3 from the left wing. Goes to the student section, says, let's go. Aggies up 40-25, 3:20 left in the half. Shaver, cross-court pass to Degenhart. Degenhart then to Rice. Rice on the left wing. Driving baseline. Shulga on his back pocket. Leaves it back to Abo. Abo then to Rice. Rice up against Bairstow. Trying to post him up. Stops. Turn around. Bairstow keeps the hand in his face. Forces him to give him up. Abo with the drive. Leaves it down low to Smith. And it's a shot clock violation. Did not get it up in time. Missed the bucket anyway. Aggies up by 15. Idle Rock's going to check in. Timeout on the court. It's our under 4 media timeout. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield. 2:56 left to go in an entertaining first half, especially if you're an Aggie fan. 40-25. Aggies lead by 15. Big thanks to Deal Evans Bank for supporting Utah State athletics. Deal Evans Bank, a community bank with local employees helping their communities succeed. Well, tell you what, Utah State has been off to a stellar start. The #1 defense in the Mountain West Conference and the 10th ranked defensive rated team in all of college basketball. And the Aggies put up 40 in the first 17 minutes of this game.
Yeah, you look at these statistics, 60 from the field, 40 from 3, and 100% from free throw line. It's almost like these Aggies know that something's riding on this game. They've come out incredible in the first half. It's important that they finish strong. I mean, we know in the Boise State huddle they're saying, okay, let's get it back to 10. Just get it to 10. Let's go to halftime under 10. Utah State's saying the opposite. Let's push this thing to 20. Let's see how it plays out.
Rocky Mountain Dermatology offers Botox, skin cancer, acne, cool sculpting, and laser hair removal services in North Logan, providing you advanced dermatology and surgery right there in Cache Valley. Jace Whiting checks back into the game, will guard Ashworth.
Looks like there's a little moisture over there in that corner. Wiping it up.
Sean Bairstow set to inbound, hands over to Ashworth. Ashworth picked up by Whiting at midcourt. Leaves it for Idle Rock. Back up top to Ashworth. Ashworth three-point line extended. Looking left. Funk rises, fires, 3, yes! Oh, Taylor Funk. Filthy. Aggies up 43-25. 2.5 minutes left to go. Taylor Funk came to play today, folks. 15 points, 3 of 5 from 3. Abo, who's got 13 points, has been key for Boise State, trying to keep this thing close. Whiting on a mismatch, trying to drive on Atkin. Gets around him, slips it to Milner, but he lost the handle, and the steal going the other way for Utah State. Funk to a trailing Ashworth to Bairstow. Bairstow lost the handle in traffic, leaves it left. Idle Rock for 3, no good. And here comes Rice pulling it down. Idle Rock had a great look that would have given Utah State a 20-plus lead. Max Rice with 2 minutes left to go. Leaves it for Milner on the post. Again, liking that matchup against Funk. Puts it up and gets it to go over the top of him. When Funk gets that assignment, Boise State's been going right at him.
Yeah, absolutely. Him or Degenhart. I'm actually really surprised Boise has not tried to take advantage of whoever he's guarding.
16-point lead for the Aggies. 1:35 left to go in the game. Ashworth to the elbow. Jumper up. Yes. Silky smooth. Stephen Ashworth buries the jumper. Aggies back up by 18. 45-27. Whiting to Max Rice, who's got 4 points on the night tonight. Rice hounding the dribble, guarded by Idle Rock. Ball stolen away. Ashworth steal, 2-on-1 fast break. Leaves it for Idle Rock, lays it up and in. Oh, Stephen Ashworth, a thief in the night with the steal and the assist to Idle Rock. It's a 20-point game, 47-27. Degenhart at the midcourt logo to Milner. Back to Abbo. Leaves it for Rice on the right wing. Rice puts his shoulder into Eilerock. Tries to get around him. Goes baseline. Hoists up a desperation shot. Gets it to go and gets the foul. It's an end one opportunity for Max Rice. You do not want him heating up.
He is the king. I remember watching him when they played in the pit in that really good basketball game. Max, I don't even know what you call it, a shovel shot, because it's not a floater, but he is the king of making those shots.
Rice makes the free throw. And again, if there's somebody who doesn't care about your momentum or your crowd or anything, it's going to be Max Rice. Hand off to Ashworth. Ashworth driving. Ashworth nearly fouled in the ball. Stolen away, but the foul finally is called on Abbo, and it's going to send Ashworth to the line. Aggies, 47 points in the first half. This feels a lot like the game in Boise, just a role reversal.
Vice versa, absolutely.
So Ashworth shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. It is up and missed it. Ball tipped out and controlled finally by Rice. Ashworth doesn't miss a lot of free throws, but telling you what, Boise's going to make a run here in the second half. You need to stack as many points as you can here in the first half. Whiting on the left wing, about a 7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. That's going to be a foul against Funk, and that's going to send Boise State to the line for a front end of a 1-and-1.
You saw, I know Timmy's mind, Duryea, and that's exactly where I knew they were going to. I'm surprised they didn't do it 10 minutes ago. They run a play, high screen for Degenhart to get him in the post. It was either going to be Bairstow or Funk guarding him. Look for that in the second half. Whoever Funk is guarding, Degenhart or Milner, they're going to go at him in the post.
Degenhart, good free throw shooter. Front end of a 1-and-1 here. It is up and got it to go. Got the friendly roll that Ashworth did not get, and he'll have another free throw coming up. 47-31. Aggies have led by as many as 20, now lead by 16. Here comes the second free throw by Degenhart. That is no good. Milner with the rebound. Oh, and they're going to call a foul down low on Utah State, and that's going to send Milner to the line for a 1-and-1. So here comes Lucas Milner, a 1-and-1 opportunity. That foul does not go against Funk, who is in the mix. It's on Akin. But Milner's free throw is good. And now it's a 15-point game. So offensive rebounds creating some problems here. Boise State's got 6. Utah State with 2 offensive rebounds. Here comes Milner. Second free throw. That is up and gets it to go. So 3 free throws made by Boise State on that possession. Cuts Utah State's lead to 14. Now if you're Utah State, you just want to make sure you do not give Boise State a possession here. Shulga being harassed by Rice. 13 seconds, 12 seconds. Shulga, bounce pass down to Akin. Oh my goodness, with 6.6 seconds left, goes out of bounds. And here comes Boise State with a possession here.
6 seconds to go. They're going to change defensively. Hamada's going to go in. All players offensively. If you're taking the last shot, make sure you take the last shot.
Boise State on a 6-0 run and could extend it here after Utah State led by 20. Inbound to Milner, who's going to give it right to Degenhart. He's got a full head of steam with 3, with 2. Loses the handle on the way up, puts it up, and misses it at the buzzer. Does not count. The follow-up dunk by Milner will not count. And Utah State's going to take a 14-point lead in the break, avoiding a big run late by the Broncos. Broncos still ended it on a 6-0 run over the last 45 seconds, but it's still a 14-point lead for the Aggies. Feels like it should be more, but Utah State with a tremendous first half, putting 47 on the board in the first half. You're listening to Aggie Basketball. This is Utah State Hoops. All right, we're just a minute away from getting the second half started. Utah State will start the second half with possession. And tell you what, Utah State was down big at the half to Boise in Boise, and Boise just continued to run away and hide. I don't know if Boise is going to allow Utah State to run away and hide. Boy, I hope I am wrong on that one. But this is a very tough, composed Boise State team. Now, they are playing on fumes after that really dramatic game against San Diego State the other night when they ended the game after being down 8 with I think like 2 or 3 minutes left, and I think they ended the game on a 16-0 run and shocked San Diego State. Max Rice was just phenomenal down the stretch in this game, but this just doesn't feel like Boise State's going to be like, all right, you know what, we'll see them again in Vegas. We're done here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think an interesting thing, we were thinking about it from Utah State's perspective, that Nevada lost to UNLV, so they have a chance for the 3 seed, have everything to play for. Once that happened, Boise State all of a sudden knew that they were going to finish 2, right?
Yeah.
That there's 0 chance.
Correct.
Not that the team relaxes, but I do wonder about that. But I think you're right. Boise State's not going to lay down. I think they're going to really start executing on offense, and then defensively, it's just a matter, can they cool the Aggies down, because the Aggies have been on fire.
47 points in the first half against the 10th best defensive rated team in all of college basketball. And you're right, statistics have a way of kind of the old adage, you are who the back of your basketball card says you are.
Yep.
Those things usually kind of even out. It's a matter of, can you keep it rolling here in the second half? Here we go, folks. 20 minutes left in the regular season for Utah State. Ashworth to Bairstow to Funk. Funk to Dorius, working right to Shulga. Looking for Bairstow. Bairstow collects outside the three-point line. Down to Ashworth, who lays it up and in and gets fouled by Shaver. Whoa, let's talk about that play. What a beautiful setup.
I'll tell you what, back screen come down and then pin down for Taylor. Both guys run with him. Makes complete sense to start the second half by throwing to Stephen Ashworth in the post. I mean, why wouldn't you go to your 6-foot point guard in the post, right?
Stephen Ashworth, the free throw is good. 50-33, Aggies lead by 17. Smith to Rice, rotates left, hands to Shaver. Shaver will rotate left. Back to Rice. Rice on the left wing, posting up Degenhart. There you go, up against Taylor Funk. Passes out of it, leaves it to Abo, shoots the 3 and knocks it down from the right wing. And Abo continues where he left off in the first half. He's got 16 on the night tonight, 4 of 6 from 3. Dorius to Shulga. Shulga tries to drive, bounce pass to Dorius. He attacks, lays it up and in, and he's fouled. Trevin Dorius, and Max Rice comes up holding his left arm, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it's a shoulder or an elbow.
Shakes it off, looks like he's fine now.
2 great plays, but it continues. I mean, what we're talking about in this that happened in the first half, they only missed 4 two-point field goals, coming out 2 for 2 and getting the fouls.
Boise State has made 5 threes. 4 of those have come from Abo. Free throw is a little short and ripped down by Smith. Aggies lead 52-36. Aggies on the night tonight, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Boise State 9 of 11. Shaver on the right wing. Hands to Smith, looking for Degenhart. Posts up against Funk. Faces up, looks to go to work. Puts his shoulder down, spins in a lane, spins left, spins right, put up the shot, no good, but there's the 3rd foul on Taylor Funk. And the Aggies are going to have to figure out, I don't know if it's going to be Dorius and Akin out on the court at the same time, but I don't know.
Look to do that. It's just so funny. I'm laughing because I just know Timmy well enough to know that's exactly first 2 plays coming down, going to Degenhart, going right at Funk. And I do think that big lineup is an option.
They did use that lineup in Boise a bit. Degenhart's first free throw is good, and here comes Dan Akin.
Good call by you.
Well, you got to bring him in anyway because you got Funk with 3 fouls. The problem is that takes Funk out of a bit of a rhythm from an offensive standpoint, and he had it cooking in the first half.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Taylor's had some really big first halves and struggled in the second. This isn't going to help him keep that rhythm.
Here comes the second free throw. Degenhart knocks both down. Neither one touches rim. Beautiful free throw shooter, and he knocks it down. Utah State leads by 14, 52-38. Bairstow back to Ashworth. Ashworth kicks it right. Shulga baseline 3, no good. Akin tries for the rebound, but Shaver's able to pluck it away, and here we go. Boise State in transition. Shaver hands to Smith. Smith then to Rice, nearly lost it, but Rice putting the dribble down, tries to put up the shot, and it is blocked from behind. Here comes Utah State. Ashworth slowing things down, gives it to Shulga, gives it right back to Ashworth. Stephen with 14 points, 2 of 3 from 3. Ashworth leaves it for Akin. Akin in the post, poked away from behind, and it'll be, I believe, Utah State's ball. Official kind of screened me away from there, so.
I'll tell him to get out of the way, Scott.
If you could, that'd be great.
Yeah, I will.
But I'm going to take their word for it on that one. Aggies up by 14, 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Inbound to Dorius. Dorius wants to drive on Degenhart. Puts it up off the glass. Ooh, not a great shot. Missed it badly, and here comes Boise State going the other way. Shaver comes around to Degenhart's screen. Tries to cross over into the lane, puts it off the glass, got it to go over Ashworth, and the lead is 12, 52-40. Aggies up by 12. Ashworth to Bairstow. Bairstow up top to Shulga. Shulga being guarded by Rice, gets to the elbow, hands back to Akin, who then gives it right back to Shulga. Back to Akin. Akin gets into the post. His right hand floater up and good. 54-40, 14-point lead as Utah State and Boise State both have their offenses humming here early. Rice tried to take the three, but instead has to pull it back down. Picks up his dribble at the elbow. Hands to Degenhart, then back to Shaver. 12 on the shot clock. Down to Degenhart. Good positioning. Dorius tries to block it, but Degenhart's able to lay it up and in.
Yeah, you can just feel, even from the coaching staff watching him, this gap, this lead could shrink really quickly if Utah State's not careful.
Yep, 54-42, 12-point game. Shulga to Dorius. Dorius, bounce pass to Ashworth for two, no good. Ashworth tries to pull down his own rebound, but instead pokes it out, and it's pulled down by Shulga. So 20 on the shot clock. And they're going to give the Aggies the full shot clock. Same thing that happened here earlier with Boise State. Because the ball was tipped out, they're going to say that's a change of possession, and they'll give Utah State the full 30.
Yeah. Look, Max kind of a quiet first half. Look to see if we can get Max going. He's someone that could produce some offensive firepower right now. Be interesting to see if coaches run something for him in that high pick and roll, or if they continue to go towards Steven off the ball.
Shulga picked up by Rice at midcourt. Shulga working the offense. Looks at left to Bairstow, then to Ashworth, up top to Akin. Akin to Idlerock. Idlerock hands it to Bairstow. Bairstow with 10. Aggies need to get something going now. Bairstow throwing the alley-oop to Akin. Oh, there's something. Oh, that's filthy. Aggies have been Dunk City over the last stretch of games. Several alley-oops and a big one to Dan Akin. 56-42.
That was a great execution of an offensive play where Dan, watch his head.
Milner in the pass in the post, shot up and good. Abo at the rim. 56-44, 12-point game. Back and forth we go. Ashworth driving baseline, leaves it for Akin, gives it right back to Ashworth. Ashworth to the elbow, right-hand floater. Lost the handle on the way up, but was still able to recollect and push it up and in. What a play by Stephen Ashworth.
You know, that's where Steven's really gotten better, is that mid-range and floater game. It's not just threes anymore. It's a number of ways he's scoring the basketball.
Shaver posting up Abo. He's trying to go to work against Idlerock. Muscles into the lane. Spins, puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Utah State. Ashworth in transition to Shulga. Lays it up. What a play! Oh, baby! Max Shulga with the layup. Aggies lead by 16, 60-44.
Great transition vision by Steven.
Ashworth with 7 assists on the night. Shaver leaves it to Milner, who's fouled on the way up. And Milner will shoot free throws when we come back. 60-44, Aggies lead by 16. 15-15 left in an entertaining game on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State leads by 16, 60-44, 15-15 left here in the first half. Did you know 74% of Utahns get prescriptions from a friend or family member? That's why we all have a role to play in prescription safety, both as parents and as patients. To learn more, visit knowyourscript.org. Now, when I say this, understand Boise State can get right back in this game in a hurry. Boise State seemingly has got their offense clicking again, but Utah State hasn't allowed them to chip into the lead. Led by 14 at the break, lead by 16. That's an early win for Utah State in this game. Oh,
absolutely. Utah State's shooting 66% in the second half. They shot 62 in the first, 66 in the second. Those coaches, I know Mike Burns is preaching, we've got to get stops if you're Boise State. It doesn't matter how good you are offensively. If you don't get stops, you're not going to get back in this basketball game.
All right, here we go. Milner is going to shoot free throws. He was 2 for 2 in the first half. And he's got a couple more here. He had 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. His minute total has really ramped up over the last 5 games. Oh, nope, they take him off the free throw line and say out of bounds.
Leon didn't like that, but...
well, Milner's a 48% free throw shooter. That might not be a bad idea.
Right there with you.
All right, Jace Whiting set to inbound. The Burley high grad, Burley Bobcat. All-time leading scorer. Mom is the women's basketball coach at BYU.
Dad was a Cougar and a Ute.
Yeah.
And a Badger.
Snow Badger, yeah, that's right. All right, inbound to Degenhart. They had 30 on the clock. They put it down to 20. Degenhart, long three, missed it off the side iron. Rebound fought for and controlled by Bairstow, who then slaps it off the back of Milner, and it goes out of bounds to Utah State.
Heady play by Bairstow was going to fall out of bounds, and Milner happened to be sitting right in front of him, threw it off of him.
Quiet good night for Sean Bairstow. What do we got here? 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Crowd is booing about something. I don't know what the issue is here. Inbound to Ashworth. Hands to Bairstow, cross court to Shulga, and then Boise State will drop back and allow Shulga to bring the ball down the court. Shulga picked up by Rice, works left wing, hands to Idlerock, then to Akin. Akin looking for Ashworth, comes around a screen, throws the alley-oop to Akin. Akin a little too far low, and he has to kick it out of bounds. Nobody was there. Akin saying he was pushed out of bounds, but no call, and Utah State gives the ball back to Boise State. 4th turnover on the night for the Aggies, 8 for Boise State. Whiting hands to Abbo, then to Rice. He gives it to Degenhart, back to Rice. Rice gets around his man, drives. Bairstow is there. Shulga is there. He has to kick it to Whiting. Whiting floater with the right hand. Ooh, nice friendly roll, and it goes for him. And Utah State's lead cut back down to 14. That is the first points of the night for Jace Whiting. Whiting had 8 points in the game in Boise. Slip it to Akin at the free throw line. Akin wants to go to work against Milner. His shot is blocked, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah State.
Bless Dan's heart, but I think he thinks he gets fouled every time he goes to the rim. I mean, I haven't seen a guy that thinks he gets fouled more than Dan. And he does get fouled a lot.
I think there's a lot of guys on the court that think that. Ashworth rises for 3 off the curl, missed it, and the rebound will pull down by Abbo. Rice outside the three-point line. 14 minutes left to go in the game. Aggies up by 14. Degenhart to the elbow. Back to Rice. He's got a good look for 3. He can hit that, and he does. Oh, boy. Do not get him going. It's an 11-point game, 60-49. And the Aggies need to calm down here. As Boise State has cut the lead, this is as close as Boise State has been here in the second half. Shulga on the left wing. Back to Ashworth. Whiting is not giving him an inch. He gives it to Akin. Akin wants to go to work, slings it right. Bairstow tries to get that 3 back, and he does not. Misses it, and Rice pulls down the rebound. Here we go. This is the run Boise State can make. Rice dribbling, steps back, loses or hands off the dribble, gives it to Abbo. Abbo on the left wing, then works back to Rice. Rice cross court to Degenhart. Degenhart with 15 on the shot clock. Hands to Whiting. He'll rise, fire. He'll miss, and Milner's going to get hit with a foul and a push in the back, trying to create space for that rebound. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Boise State. Utah State with 2. Aggies dodge a bullet there on that possession. Aggies have gone the last 2:15 without scoring. That's got to change. Funk is going to come in, and look at Degenhart already pointing. Milner and Degenhart both out on the court, and Funk's going to have a big responsibility here down the stretch.
Yeah, they'll go back there. I'm actually surprised they weren't going to the post with whoever Sean was guarding.
Funk sets a screen for Shulga, leaves it for Ashworth. Ashworth on the right wing. Gets a screen, leaves it for Funk. Funk can't do anything with it, so they'll retreat And Ashworth will reset the offense. Ashworth bounce pass to Bairstow. Bairstow is 7. Slings it cross court to Ashworth. Straightaway 3. Yes! Oh, Stephen Ashworth. Aggies needed that one in a bad way. Pushes the lead back to 14, 63-49. How many times this year is Stephen Ashworth coming up with a big bucket? Whiting crosses over Ashworth, had a lane, but decided not to drive. And an offensive foul is going to go against Boise State.
It's that handoff jump stop that the refs are calling more and more. If you don't come to a complete stop, I know Jace thought he did, but the refs disagreed with him.
Jace Whiting with the foul. That's the 4th team foul for Boise State. Aggies with 2. Akin with the Aggies leading 63-49. Hand to Ashworth again. Ashworth leaves it for Shulga. Shulga on the right wing. Gets into the lane. He's in trouble, but he's able to get up the shot and draw the foul, and he'll have 2 free throws coming up.
This back and forth, Scotty. I mean, Boise making a run, cutting it to 11, and now Stephen with, I mean, just a blink of an opening and able to knock it down, and now Max getting to the free throw line. Just trying to maintain this cushion.
Aggies up 63-49. It was a 14-point lead at the half. And here comes Max Shulga with 2 free throws. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for Max from the free throw line, but he's able to knock that one down. Got a nice friendly roll. Shaver's going to check in. Abo checks out. Abo has just been fantastic tonight. He's got 18 points. Rice now in double figures with 10. Shaver's only got a bucket, 1 of 5 from the field. That'll change in a hurry.
He's been quiet. Second
free throw by Shulga is up and good. 2 for 2, and the Aggie lead is now back to 16, 65-49. Z Hamoda into the game here for Utah State.
Yeah, Stephen going out for the first time tonight, getting a break.
That won't last long.
Yeah, it's smart to get him a break right now, though.
You got the under 12 coming up here on the next dead ball.
Yep.
Whiting looking for Shaver. Shaver gets to the elbow against Funk, gets around Funk, puts the shot up, no good, but draws the foul. I believe that'll go against Hamoda. Certainly hope it does. The other alternative would be Taylor, and it is not. It'll be against Hamoda. So, going to the free throw line when we come back will be Boise State. Aggies lead by 16, 65-49. 11:50 left to go in the regular season for both these teams on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. Utah State leads by 16, 65-49, 11:50 left to go here in the ball game. Nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like TicketSmarter. For all the best sports, concerts, and theater events, visit TicketSmarter.com or on the app. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Well, near the midway point here in the second half, Utah State has been able to hold on. Boise State has not been able to make that. They got it to 11, was as close, but again, you've got Shaver shooting free throws. Shaver had a miserable game here in Logan last year until he hit the game-winning 3.
Yeah, that was a closer game, but he struggled coming into the Spectrum. Great crowds always, and they can get in some players' heads more than others. It hasn't affected Abo at all. He's raised his game. I've been really impressed with him tonight. Yeah. Offensively, this is as good as I've seen him play. But Shaver struggled, but yeah, you know what? Offensively, I know he hasn't been as good this year as he was last year, but he has that capability at any time.
Abo, by the way, was on the Texas Tech team that Utah State played in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, but did not play in that game. So he was used sparingly there in Lubbock, and then he's come to Boise, and he's found a nice home, to say the least.
He'll be a great player for them. I think he's only a sophomore.
Second free throw is up and good. Both free throws go for Shaver. Lead is 14, 65-51. Funk had a bit of a difficulty getting the inbounds in. Finally, Bairstow's able to help him out. Rice is going to harass Bairstow, bringing the ball down the court. The ability of Rice to play as long and as aggressive as he does without losing a lot of energy is really impressive to watch. Shulga in the lane, gets in trouble, leaves it to Hamoda. Hamoda baseline 3 is up, no good. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Bairstow. Big offensive rebound to Funk. Funk down low to Akin. Akin going to work against Milner, kicks it, oh geez. Looking for Hamoda in the corner, but Hamoda drove to the bucket, and Hamoda sent it into the second row.
Landon Brenchley was open on the bench. Unfortunately, couldn't shoot that.
Dorius is going to check in for Akin. Both teams have scored 18 points here in the second half. Utah State able to hold on to that 14-point lead, but again, Boise State, it seems like every possession is going to count.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jace Whiting has got a bucket in this game. Hands to Smith, then to Rice. Rice cross court to Milner, then back to Shaver. Looking for Rice again. He'll take that straightaway three. Yes, Max Rice has got it going. And now it's back to 11 again. 65-54, 5-0 run by the Broncos.
Nothing's more frustrating as a coach, and you hear him yelling Z and telling him what's going to happen, and still nothing they can do about it.
Dorius hands to Bairstow. Bairstow in the lane, gives it to Dorius, but he's going to get an offensive foul. Yeah, it's going to go against Bairstow. Tried to get Dorius on an alley-oop, but crashed into the lane and gets hit with the offensive foul.
Yeah, left his feet, unfortunately. Shaver stayed underneath him, but that's just a situation. Come to a jump stop and throw it up.
Rice has got 2 threes here in the second half and feels like things could get heated up here pretty quick. Hand to Shaver. Shaver outside the three-point line. Back to Rice. Rice will take the mid-range jumper and miss it. Rebound falls in the hands of Sean Bairstow. Here comes Stephen Ashworth, picked up by Jace Whiting. Gets a screen from Funk. Funk has yet to attempt a shot here in the second half. Dillon with foul trouble. Funk still with the ball. Leads it back to Ashworth. He'll take that three and airball it. Hamoda keeps it in play to Funk. Funk puts it up and in. Oh, Z Hamoda. Give that man some credit. Ball nearly stolen away. Rice steps back behind the three-point line as Funk tried to come away with the interception. Couldn't do it. Shaver with the ball outside the three-point line. Pulls up, elbow jumper, up, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Dorius. Here comes Bairstow. Bairstow on the drive. Bairstow lays it up, no good. Fight for the rebound, pulled down by Shaver. Oh, that would have been a big bucket. Aggies got to get back in transition. Shaver wants to run. Shaver has the ball knocked out of his hands. It'll be no foul, just out of bounds. Good job by Dorius breaking that up, and Funk in the mix as well. 13-point game, 67-54. Shulga's going to come in for Bairstow. And Jace Whiting will inbound with 26 seconds. Dan Atkin also set to check in. No, he's going to come in for Dorius. Whiting set to inbound, looking for Degenhardt down low. Instead, hands to Rice. Rice on the air. No, Rice has to come out to the elbow to collect. Hands to Degenhardt. Degenhardt, right wing. Shaver cuts, but instead gives it to Rice. Rice in trouble. Atkins on him. Finally gives it to Degenhardt. Mismatch as Shulga's in his back pocket. Spins around him and lays it up and in. Yep. Degenhardt, when he knows he's got the matchup, is going to attack you, and he gets the easy bucket.
And the thing about him that I love his game is he's just slow. He's just really slow.
Kinda
he's
like
not in a
Tony
hurry.
Kukoc.
Yeah, exactly. In that situation, he just let everything come to him. He wasn't trying to rush anything, even though he had the mismatch.
9 minutes left to go in the game. It's an 11-point game for Utah State, 67-56. Shulga driving. Shulga hands to Funk. Funk will drive. Funk! Oh! Oh, Funk throws it down over the top of Smith. Nasty, filthy dunk. First bucket of the second half for Taylor Funk, who's got 17. None nastier than that. Degenhardt right wing. Sizes up Atkin in the right low post. Going to work again. He's had a mismatch, and he's been working it. Puts the floater up off the glass. It's silky smooth, and it's good. Oh, my goodness. Tyson Degenhardt. He's now got 12 points. Seems like he's got 20.
Think of that play. He just started dribbling from half court, started backing him down.
69-58, bounce pass to Ashworth, leaves it for Atkin, poked away from him. Hamoda's there to collect it, though. Hamoda is going to be fouled by Rice from behind. That'll be the 16th foul on Boise State. With 8:09 left to go in the game.
You can feel this game is going to be the next 3 minutes, Scotty. If there's this kind of lead under 4-minute timeout, the thing's over. And I know Boise knows they've got to get this thing into single digits soon.
69-58, Aggies lead by 11. Shulga receives the inbound. Shulga takes the jumper, yes. Oh my goodness, Max Shulga He's got 9 points on the night tonight, 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Aggies have dished out 22 assists on their 28 made buckets tonight. Aggies up by 13, 71-58. Najee Smith to the elbow to Abo. Abo being guarded by Hamoda. Cross court back to Smith. Leaves it for Whiting. Whiting guarded by Shulga. Gets around him, attacks, slings it left to Abo, then to Shaver. Shaver's got a wide open three, missed it. And the rebound pulled down by Akin. Oh, big miss by Boise State. And here comes Utah State. 7:27 left to go in the game. Aggies up by 13. 71-58. What a game here in the Spectrum in Logan. Hand to Ashworth. Ashworth, he has a lane. He attacks. No foul. And he goes down to the court. Boise State with the rebound, and Shaver wants to go the other way. 5-on-4 for Boise State. And a foul down low. It's going to go against Hamoda on the drive. No foul shots. That's the 15th foul for Utah State. 7:07 left to go in the game. Aggies up by 13, 71-58 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. (71-58). Aggies lead by 13. Utah State led by 14 at the break. They've been able to push it up to as much as 16 here in the second half. Boise State's been able to whittle it down to 11, but we've just been hanging out in that 16 to 11 range throughout much of this second half. That's your Aggie scoring summary brought to you by your Utah pork producers. Visit utahporkproducers.org for more information. Whew, what a game tonight. And I got a sneaking suspicion we're going to see more of the same in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's fascinating, like we talked about before the game, is, I mean, if Utah State wins this, then this could be a semifinal matchup.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always difficult to beat a team that you just beat a week earlier, play them again. Not an easy thing to do, but this could be a Mountain West semifinal if both teams handle their business. Tax reform laws impact all taxes every year. H&R Block is available with all the information. H&R Block of Logan is owned and operated by proud Aggie alumni. 25 on the shot clock. Boise State will inbound after the foul. Shaver will be the one triggering it. And looking for Degenhart. Leaves to Abo. Abo inside the three-point line to Shaver, trying to get it to Degenhart, and here we go. Degenhart up against Akin. Aggies don't bring the double team yet. And here comes Degenhart. Nearly lost the handle, hands to Rice. Rice driving baseline, attacking, missing the layup, but Smith's there to put it back up and in. Offensive rebound, Aggies out of position, and Najee Smith gets the easiest two of the night tonight for Boise State. Back to an 11-point game, 71-60. Akin outside the three-point line. Looking for Shulga, who comes up to collect. Shulga to the elbow. Shulga steps back. His long jumper is missed. Degenhart with the rebound, and this is a big possession here. Max Rice crosses the timeline. Rice, guarded by Funk. Steps back, takes the three over the top of him, misses it, and the rebound fought for and controlled by Utah State. 6:15 left to go in the game. Aggies lead by 11. Ashworth bounce pass to Funk in the corner. Driving, leaving it for Akin. Ball poked away. Ashworth's going to dive on the court for it, but Shaver comes away with it, and his reverse layup is up and in. It's a 9-point game, 6:71-62. And Shaver and Steven chasing for a ball. Those guys are fast. Here we go. 9-point game. Shulga beyond the three-point line. Kicks it to Bairstow. Bairstow driving. Bairstow floater up and in. Big bucket for Utah State. They've gone the last 2.5 minutes without a bucket. And Bairstow snaps that streak. 5:35 left to go. It's an 11-point game. Najee Smith to Abo. Up top to Degenhart. Degenhart outside the three-point line. Hands to Shaver. Shaver drives. Shaver attacks. His shot blocked at the rim, but they're going to get Akin with the foul. Felt like his off arm was actually coming up and blocking. I want to see it on the replay. Yeah, it's probably a foul on Dan. It's a good call. So Shaver goes to the line where he is a perfect 2 for 2 tonight. Shaver's only got 6 points, but he does have 6 rebounds and has dished out 5 assists. It's an 11-point game, 73-62. Free throw good by Shaver. Comes into the game an elite level 77% free throw shooter, and we got a quick timeout on the court. We're going to have a defensive chat right here. Free throw, setting something up. It'll be interesting if they set up a full court defense or what they're trying to do.
30-second timeout. Actually, we're going to go, we'll go a full 1 minute timeout. 1 minute coach's timeout. Leon Rice wants to talk about this next defensive possession. 73-63. Aggies up by 10 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. All right, Utah State. You know, usually you don't say holding on to a 10-point lead, but it does feel like they're holding on to a 10-point lead.
That's exactly what they're doing.
73 with 5:22 left to go in the game. Bank of Utah and Utah State Athletics have teamed up this year to donate to Hoops for Hope. Every point the Aggies score at home, Bank of Utah will donate $1. Right now the Aggies have banked $73. They'd like to bank a whole lot more. Big thanks to Bank of Utah for supporting the Utah State Aggies. All right, Shaver's got one more free throw. Smart timeout by Leon Rice there, saying, hey, look, these possessions are all going to matter down the stretch. We got to make sure we're playing our best defense down that stretch.
Also, it'll be interesting, though, gives Utah State an opportunity to draw something up, see what they draw up. The first play of the first half, really good. First play of the second half, really good. See what Ryan ends up drawing up for him.
Shaver with the free throw to cut the lead to single digits, and he does. Hits the free throw. It's a 9-point game. Inbound to Shulga. Shulga then to Ashworth. Ashworth cross court to Bairstow. Broncos do a good job getting back as Bairstow wanted to drive but couldn't quite get it done. So the Aggies will reset with 20 on the shot clock. Shulga with the left wing after the pass from Ashworth. Gets a screen from Akin. Gets the elbow, slings it right to Funk. Funk to Akin. Akin against Rice. Let's see if he goes to work here. And he will be fouled. And will it be on the shot? Either way, he's either going to be shooting a 1-and-1 or 2 free throws. And 1-and-1.
Yep.
Dan Akin stepping to the line for the front end of a 1-and-1 in incredible pressure situation. Dan's free throw, good.
Great reverse jinx on your part, Scotty. This is typically where Dan will get the lane violation.
Yeah, that's true. Here comes Dan Akin, who just pushed the lead to 10. Here comes free throw number 2. Where is a violation, but he makes the free throw. Doesn't matter. It's an 11-point game. Those are 2 huge free throws for Dan Akin. We're at the 5-minute mark. Shaver guarded by Ashworth. Down low to Smith. Smith on the right baseline. Back up top to Degenhart. He drives. He attacks. His shot missed. Funk with the rebound. Leon Rice wants a foul. They don't give it to him. Man, he works the refs better than anybody else.
Yeah, he does a great job on that.
Ashworth, I'm not hating either. Akin outside the three-point line. Leaves it to Bairstow. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Utah State for the shove on the screen. All right, 4:34 left to go in the game. Aggies give it back. Aggies with their 8th turnover on the night tonight, 5th of the half. Boise State with 9. They've only turned it over once. Stephen Ashworth going to the crowd saying, I want to hear from you. Help us out here a little bit with 4:34 left to go in the game. And the Aggies lead by 10. Shaver crossing the timeline. Leads it to Smith, then to Rice. Keep an eye on Max Rice. Hands to Shaver. Shaver driving, Shaver attacking, Shaver fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. And that's the 4th foul on Dan Akin.
Taylor Funk.
Or excuse me, Taylor Funk, yeah,
yep.
Correct. 4:24 left to go in the game. And Shaver, who's been absolutely perfect from the line tonight. 4 for 4. Again, 75% free throw shooter. First free throw, no good. Missed it off the front of the iron. One more coming up. Whiting's going to check in. For who? Idle Rock into the game as well. Yeah, that's going to be Funk. I don't know if you can keep Taylor off the bench or off the court much. Shaver just missed his first free throw. Odds are he's not going to miss this one. Second free throw is up and good.
Good try.
All right, here we go. Here comes some full court press. 9-point game. 4:24 left to go in the game. Inbound to Ashworth. Kick it over to Bairstow. Bairstow, guarded by Smith, crosses the timeline. Aggies can set things up. Bairstow, hands to Shulga. Shulga then to Akin. Akin on the left wing. Leaves it for Eilerock. Eilerock driving. Eilerock has to get rid of it to Ashworth. Guarded by Whiting. Puts the shot up. No good. Aggies want a foul. They don't get it. Here comes Boise State. 3:53 left to go in the game. It's a 10-point game. Shaver comes around the screen. Drives baseline. Bairstow cuts him off. Waves away the double team. Puts a shot up. Oh my goodness, and he got it.
Shaver wanted to post up Bairstow, which I don't know if I should tell him. He didn't have that's a mismatch on the other end, but he threw up a right-handed jump shot put.
It's an 8-point game. Aggies would love to get some points here. Push it back to a double-digit game. Shulga nearly lost the handle. Boise State's really clamping down defensively, and the officials are letting him go. Shulga driving, Shulga attack, layup up and in, gets around the edge, strolls down the lane and gets the big layup. Back to a 10-point game with 3:05 left to go in the game. 77-67, folks. Big possession here. Najee Smith on the right wing to Degenhart. Degenhart to Whiting. Whiting on the right side, guarded by Shulga. He gets in the lane, he lays it up and in. Oh, Utah State fell apart somewhere and allowed Jace Whiting to get an easy layup at the rim. 2:40 left to go, 77-69. 8-point game. Here comes Shulga. Gets the screen from Akin. Shulga works around that screen. Leaves it back for Eilerock. Eilerock for three. No good. Rebound pulled down by Smith. Looked good, just didn't drop. Hit the back of the iron. Can Utah State come up with a defensive stop here? Shaver attacks, lays it up, gets it to go. It's a 6-point game. Shaver's starting to take over control. And a timeout for Utah State. It's a 6-point game. 77-71 with 2:14 left to go in the game. We'll take a full 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Aggie basketball from Learfield.
Look for Sean to get something right here, or Dan rolling to the hoop.
All right, you and I were just talking about what to expect here. What would you run to try to get somebody a good look? Aggies need a bucket here in the worst way. What do we got left here?
It's typically, we got 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. Typically, this is when Steven has hit some big shots throughout the season in the game, but it's not necessarily a drawn-up play. Typically, what they're going to be running is a Max Shulga high pick and roll and look for Dan to do something, or watch for the action of Sean coming off that hard curl coming to the rim, coming from the left side corner to get running in. He had one against Abo just a little while ago and laid it in. It's a perfect opportunity to run that curl play for Sean.
Taylor Funk's got 4 fouls. Max Rice also playing with 4 fouls. Now the Aggies can run some clock here, and that would be nice, but more importantly, you got to get points. Here we go, folks. 2:14 left to go in the game. Aggies have led by as many as 16 here in the second half. Inbound to Bairstow. Bairstow to Funk, back to Bairstow. Abo on Bairstow's back pocket, bringing the ball down the court. Bairstow near the midcourt logo, hands to Ashworth, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Boise State just smothering defensively right now. Akin with the ball. Akin leads to Funk. Funk for 3, get in there. Yes! Oh! Taylor Funk! 80-71, it's a 9-point game. Boy, did Utah State need that, and this crowd just erupted. Degenhart to Shaver. Shaver down low to Abo. Abo against Bairstow, leaves it to Degenhart, then back to Shaver. Shaver trying to cross over Atkins, steps back, takes the long 3, does not get it back, but Degenhart gets the offensive rebound. Back to Whiting. Whiting takes the 3 and misses it. Max Rice is going to check back in. Aggies lead by 9 with the ball with 1:23 left to go. And Jace Whiting getting the air ball vibe from the crowd.
Jason, great rebound, and that's a great opportunity for a 3, his offensive rebound. Couldn't ask for a better look. That one didn't look good, though.
Ashworth to Shulga. Aggies can get this under 1 minute, leading by 9. Shulga crossover and then retreats. Back to the midcourt logo against Rice. Rice playing with 4 fouls. Akin driving into the lane. Akin lost the handle, and it's going to be stolen away. 58 seconds left. Boise State has life, down 9. Long 3, Abo up, no good. Rebound, Akin pulls it down. And Akin finally draws the foul. Boise State players draped all over him, but Akin's going to go to the line. That'll be a front end of a 1-and-1. Aggies up 9 with 48 seconds left, Spencer.
Did you park it in the garage yet? Did you park it?
Don't say it.
You can park it.
Don't say it. We are taking applications for color analysts next year.
Oh, you're right. It's not over. It's not over.
Hey,
but
you want to talk about Pacific and how it's not over?
I've seen that. Yeah, I know the feeling of it.
Akin with the front end of a 1-and-1. Free throw is good. It's a 10-point game, 81-71. One more free throw coming up for Dan. Say it with me.
Tough acting, Dan Akin.
There you go. One more free throw coming up. 81-71. Second free throw. That is up. That is good as well. It's an 11-point game. Utah State sees Shaver bring the ball down the court. Rice, cross-court pass to Degenhart. Driving, attacking, shot up, good. That's all right. Here comes Shulga crossing the timeline. Shulga to Funk. And that's going to be an intentional foul against Boise State. So explain what's going to happen here. 2 shots in the ball?
2 shots in the ball. He grabbed his jersey. Sometimes it's because of a malicious act. In that situation, it's just an intentional foul. He grabbed his jersey, and so immediately you get the crossed hand signal. Taylor
Funk's got 22 points tonight in his last game in his only year in an Aggie uniform, and he has been fantastic. Free throw good for Taylor Funk, whose 3-point shot really sealed this game.
Yeah, that was, we didn't know it at the time, but pretty much you're exactly right. That was the nail in the coffin.
Second free throw by Funk is good, and Utah State will have the ball up by 11. Let's see if Leon Rice calls off the Dogs or keeps Boise State fouling. This game is over. Here comes Stephen Ashworth. Inbound to Bairstow. Bairstow lays it up and in off the inbounds play. Stephen Ashworth, the assist. Ashworth with 8 assists on the night tonight. Your winning team, losing team chant. It's a big one for Utah State, leading 86-73. Shot up, missed. Fight for the rebound. It's down on the court, taken by Funk. Outlets to Shulga. Shulga will not take a bucket. Aggie fans want him to lay it up and in. Utah State won't. What a night tonight for the Aggies. Utah State is going to beat Boise State 86-73. What a night tonight here in Logan. And the Aggies get one step closer to punching their ticket to the NCAA tournament.
Great win by Utah State. I mean, this obviously was a must-win if you're talking about at-large prospects, and then also with the number 3 seed on the line so they can avoid San Diego State unless they make it to the finals. Everything was on tonight, and the Aggies showed up and have a lot of really good momentum heading into Las Vegas for the Mountain West Conference tournament.
Final in this one, 86-73. Utah State gets the win. And the Mountain West Conference tournament, you might see these two teams play again in 6 days in the semifinals. You're listening to Aggie Basketball. What a game tonight, right here on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.